sad story.
Now, it is dinner time, and if you're about to tuck into a burger and fries or dialing a pizza, you might want to check this out.
Last year, it was estimated 23% of the world's roughly 7 billion humans are overweight. Since 1995, the percentage of overweight or obese adult Australians has risen from 56.3% to 63.4% in 2011-12.
So we're batting way above our average. High five.
Besides the increase in related illness, it's also led to heavy costs within the health service industry. Your average ambulance costs $215,000. An ambulance fitted out to carry loads of 500 kilos costs $350,000. The Royal Flying Doctors Service have had to fit 3 aircraft with wide load doors. And there have even been reports that extra staff are needed during surgery to hold back stomach fat.
So we're employing more people. High five. Charlie always high fives.
Fed up, the Queensland Government has put aside $8 million to launch a graphic ad campaign, modelled on a similar one already launched by the WA Government last year. So can overweight Aussies be shocked into putting down their thick shakes and picking up a dumbbell? Or is our overweight nation here to stay?
Advertising executive Dan Gregory, he is basically Australia's Don Draper. Now, Dan, the evidence surrounding the effectiveness of these kinds of fear campaign ads isn't conclusive. What do you make of them? Do you think they'll work?
Well, I think the role of a shock ad is really to get people's attention and to provoke conversation around an issue. And I kind of think that's where this one falls down a bit. I mean, firstly, because I don't think it's that shocking, because it's almost an exact rip-off of the smoking campaign that we've seen before. So if I've seen it before, it's not something I'm going to pay attention to. And the second thing that's going on is I'm not sure that it's really shifting my perception somewhere new. Like the Grim Reaper AIDS campaign was really a shock campaign that made us realise that AIDS wasn't just a gay disease. And I don't think this one has that same level of challenging my perceptions.
Dan, these are very similar to the road safety advertisements. But is it one thing to shock people into driving more safely and another to actually shock them into not eating pizza every day?
Yeah, well, again, I think what was great about some of the road safety campaigns that were shocking was they changed the conversation. All of a sudden, drink driving went from being something that you did kind of socially to being a criminal activity, or speeding was something that, you know, it wasn't something that you just got away with, it was something that hurt people. And I think that's kind of the difference with this campaign and, say, the really successful road safety campaigns. Although I think the other thing that's going on is this is a very personal issue. This is really anchored in people's identities and the way they see themselves. So I think that makes it a far more emotional issue as well.
You mentioned the smoking there before. I mean, scare campaigns kind of worked for smoking, but it was the taxing that really made a difference. Should we just be taxing junk food? Should we be paying, you know, $15 for a Big Mac on our way through drive-through at 3 a.m. on a Saturday morning?
Yeah, look, no more than I think we should be taxing MasterChef for having 3 fat guys teach us how to fry food in duck fat.
Well, Dan, can we just make food less tasty? I mean, is that an issue? Can we just... Is that possible?
Well, look, I think that's certainly possible. I'm a diabetic, so I'm on a really restrictive diet. So that's actually, I think the reason I'm losing weight is because I'm just not able to eat any of the food I like anymore.
That's perfect. Everybody should just eat horrible food and then no one will get overweight, Dan.
Food is the great joy of life. That's the problem.
Appreciate your time. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
You're a big fan of the taxing of junk food,
I believe in a very specific type of taxing. We need to change the economics of weight in this country. So it costs us a lot down in the health end. But I reckon we need to get to the point where we start taxing some of this food, but using that money to offset the cost of good, balanced, healthy food. So the people that complain about eating a burger once a month or once a week, saying I don't want to pay more, they get the offset there of eating good food that costs less every other day of the week. And I think it needs to change very quickly.
Or we could all just have gastric sleeve surgery, which is it's an option.
Yeah, it's expensive, Dave.
Well, all right. Well, the government could pay for it. Well, Joe Hockey's part of Parliament. He's hoping to be in the government. He's had gastric sleeve surgery recently. He's on the record with that. Yeah. But today he was with Bill Shorten, and they were doing a radio interview this morning. There was a camera there. They know the camera's there. This bit didn't go on the radio, but they know the camera's there. So listen in to how times have changed for Joe.
Had too much breakfast, mate.
Did you? No, I went for a run, but
too fast. Too fast. I had 2 spoonfuls of pear, and I ate it too quickly. It went bang. It really hurts.
Well, take it easy.
but that wasn't scripted. He's had 2 spoonfuls of pear and it's done Joe in.
That is a reality show very shortly. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Coming up, she's not